Oh my God, y'all, do y'all ever feel like y'all are one of those people that's always trying to figure something out, always having to troubleshoot, always just having issues? Yeah, that's me. That's me for sure. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Carlie Talks Cash. Yes, I am your host, Carlie T, or Carlie the Pilot, whichever one you want to call me. Either way, good to have you guys back, or welcome if it's your very first time. So before we get into the points of the video, which I know is why y'all are here, let's talk a little bit about what's been going on with me. Hopefully y'all are doing good. Why I said that feeling like I'm always just troubleshooting, always trying to figure stuff out is because every time I feel like I do something, I'm always like faced with this crazy challenge every time. Like just setting up this new equipment here, issues with the microphone. So now I'm just using the mic and the camera, and not in the camera, but the phone. Just always something. I feel like always something. Anyway, I'm looking for another job right now. Not just a job, but a career. Like I've been building my career in entertainment for the longest time, working behind the scenes, mostly in film and audio, recording artists, working on film sets, things like that, and also making my own music. Yes, I make my own music. I've been doing that for a while, and I've been studying, just trying to get better at this and building this channel and really putting everything out there. So let's talk about that and the points and how that relates to what's going on with me right now. Let's get into it because I have a Zoom meeting in a little bit. All right, y'all, let's start off with the first point, and that is study, study, study. Yes, because like I said, me personally, I'm studying social media, how to get better at content creating, how to get more views, how to get more likes. And even though sometimes it seems personally like silly to me that that's what it takes these days to have success at times, I feel like it's a big, huge, like social media is like this huge pie that everybody can get a slice of. Like the market really isn't oversaturated. You can make it work however you want to make it work. Like your voice needs to be heard, especially if you have valid points. And for me, I feel like I have some good points. So the couple viewers that I have, which I appreciate you guys, I'm so glad that y'all have come to this channel and watched and all of that. I love that. So I'm really just trying to study, and while I am studying, I'm studying via YouTube videos, via TikTok videos, basically just learning from people that have already made it there. They're doing what I want to do, basically. Like I want to be able to have an even more flexible schedule. I don't want to have to just have any old job just to be flexible, and work on content creating as well and all of that. Like content creating is just something I feel like I'm called to do. This is something that I want to do, so I'm working on it. But anyway, let's keep on going into it. My goal with content creating on YouTube is to provide a platform for my viewers to come and feel comfortable first and foremost, and to feel like to help people realize that their dreams are capable of accomplishing. I'm in the middle of still trying to accomplish certain things. I'm just checking my boxes, ticking away at the things that I want to do. I'm constantly trying to do something while prioritizing my mental health and my rest and family time and things like that. So, but that is my main goal. So I would really, really appreciate the subscriptions, the likes, all of that stuff. And I'm studying to make things better, to make my content better, stronger, and just honestly, I really am trying to monetize this. There's no beating around the bush on it. Like, I want to retire early, and this is one of the things that I want to do with my life is create content and help people in the process. So enjoy, sit back, relax, and enjoy. But in order to do that, for me right now, where I'm sitting, where I'm standing, is study, study, study. I've been looking up and saving countless videos on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and so forth, just studying people that are giving the tips and the tricks on how to get where they got, like, monetizing, more views, how to get more streams on Spotify, like all of that stuff. I'm working on doing that so I can get to that point and not only help myself, but to help others. So just to wrap up that point really quick, basically, if you want to be good at something, you want to get good at something, just study, guys. Just study, look things up. Some people just have a knack for just taking off. Like, they don't have to like study anything. Like, especially like you kids nowadays, like, swear, like, you guys are so good at creating content and building content. Some people just literally, it's just, I guess, comes natural to them. I'm one of those people that I feel like a lot of the times things don't necessarily always come natural to me. I feel like I do have to put more effort in and things like that, but it's okay. I'm not tripping about it. So if you're one of those people that's like blessed with the ability to just to hit the ground running, I applaud you. You're probably one of the people that I'm studying, and I'm literally just learning, and I just hope that I'm inspiring the people that maybe are kind of like me in my shoes, that are, you know, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to learn and figure things out, but we're going to get there. We're going to make it happen. So just keep studying, look things up, keep learning, and just go from there. There's nothing wrong with just trying to get better at your craft. Point 2. Take advantage of AI. Yes, the artificial intelligence, advanced intelligence, whatever it's called. I guess I should have looked that up before, but I assume it's artificial intelligence. I mean, that's the old phrase, right? Anyway, guys, I know that a lot of y'all are familiar with AI, and none of us are really strangers to AI at this point. And I really hope that y'all are taking advantage of it, because it's not just like this far-fetched thing. It's something that is kind of like in the beginning stages to the public, but it's something that is probably here to stay. And it's a really wonderful thing to take advantage of, and I'll tell you why. So, like I said, I'm looking for another job right now. I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I'm not the strongest resume writer. I have quite an extensive background. I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of skills. However, I wasn't always good at articulating that on paper. So I have so many different resumes that I've made over the years. And due to not really knowing how to make a strong resume, I feel like I've settled into certain jobs that, of course, that were flexible for me, that were making, that were helping me do more than get by, but they were also they're just jobs, they're just jobs. They're not anything significant. They're not necessarily jobs in my career. I do work some gigs and some contract jobs in my career, but there are also other jobs that I work that I'm like, like I said, they're just kind of basic jobs that I could be doing better, guys. I'm just saying I could be doing better, and I'm being honest about that. That, let's be real. However, I will say that all of the work and all of the experience that I do have, I am so beyond grateful for where those jobs have taken me, the connections that I've made, all of that, the skills that I've picked up, because any job that you have, even if it doesn't seem significant, there's always a silver lining on that cloud. Like, and I've preached this before in one of my previous videos, but I've definitely been like, I've definitely learned over the years and seen over the years how some of my jobs have like really, really helped me just get better and at so many different things. And the totally unrelated fields too, but I was able to, bring my customer service skills over into, the industry work that I do and all of that stuff. So it's really, really cool. Just always show up and do your best no matter what, because you never know, you might need that reference from anybody that you worked with later on or whatever the case may be. So show up and show out, baby. That's what you got to do, But before I get off on a tangent, let's talk about building that resume again and cover letters too. So like I said, I wasn't really the best at articulating my skills and everything on a resume. And I wasn't always sure of what to put and how it's relevant to the job and all of that. So my sister actually showed me this website. It's called earnbetter.com. They utilize AI. You don't have to utilize the AI feature. However, I highly recommend it. It gives you a bunch of different templates to use for your resume. And it also gives you all these cool templates for cover letters, all of that good stuff. It's so awesome. And it cuts your time in, I don't even want to say in half, guys. Like it like cuts maybe like the time that you would be doing a resume manually to maybe like 80% or something like that. Something crazy. It's so efficient. You literally upload the resume that you already have, or you work within the website itself, and it's free, by the way. It's free. I can't emphasize that enough. Utilize your free resources, please. It's so helpful. It's so helpful. Just put that in there. Just type up your information. Boom, click the AI button, and it totally reformats everything. It rewords it, and then it gives you options. It gives you different options, and it says, here's option 1, and this is what we said about you. Here's option 2, and this is what we said about your history and your skills and everything. Here's option 3, and so on and so on and so on. Bomb cover letters, bomb resumes, and my sister said that was the resume that helped her get the job that she has now. So I was like, cool, let's do this. But yeah, so I'm in the process of looking for another job, and I'm utilizing that site. So every time I find a job that I want to apply to, which I'm being picky about the job that I want to apply to now, I'm being far more selective, and I'm aiming higher. I'm aiming at better salaries. I'm aiming at work that I actually want to do, an industry that I actually want to do, and I'm just putting them in. And if it's a job that's different from the previous job that I applied for, I just go back into my Earn Better account, plug in that title, change up the information a little bit, hit that AI button, do the cover letter, we're good to go. And I mean, it's literally so fast, and it just makes the application process a lot less painful, and it's really helpful. And not to discredit any of the career coaches that I've worked with, because I've partnered up with career coaches before. I've spoken to someone at my school in the career services. I've met with people, man. I've been doing what I can to get better at this resume stuff and all of that. And it's been a rocky road. It's been a long road, y'all. And I kind of come from like my history, like my background and stuff. I was told growing up, if I wanted to do something, I needed to figure it out. So I didn't really have like that guidance. Which if you have that guidance in your life, I think that's great. But now I'm just now getting that guidance, with my sister, which I'm grateful for, the programs that I've utilized and all of that. I'm so grateful, but I had to go out and find those resources. I had to take that leap and figure it out. And I hate that that was the case, but it's made me, it's gotten me this far. It's, you know, given me the opportunity to learn things for myself. But I hope that y'all get ahead of the curve, ahead of me. I want y'all to be better than me. And if you have tips and tricks and things like that, and you know, you can piggyback off this information, or you have something positive to contribute, feel free to put it in the comments, man. Like, I'm learning. I always learn. I'm always trying to learn, and I'm open to hearing what other people are doing. And like I said, I'm still doing research all the time. So let's learn together. Let's see what we can do. But definitely take advantage of AI. There's, of course, Chat GPT, all of that cool stuff. AI is just making things better. Now, of course, there are limitations, because I did like a design competition recently, and they don't want you using AI for that kind of stuff. So, you know, there are still going to be instances where you have to actually put in a little bit more work, and that's okay. That's all right. You know, it makes us better, it makes us stronger. So it's cool. But please, guys, if you're looking for a job, please take advantage of resources like that. Let's move on. I'm going to even be bold to say this, but just wish me luck, man. Wish me luck out here. And if you have, or if you know of any great jobs out there that are hiring, feel free to send them my way too. I love it. I love resources. I love tapping in. So feel free to send me some stuff. Why not? So let's take it into the next point. What is this? Point 3, I think. Usually I do 3 points. I want to take this a step further and do about 4 today. I might have lost count, but anyway, let's talk about it. We'll figure it out when we get there. Point 3. A lot of folks want to be rich or wealthy. But what are you really gonna do with that money when you make it? I ask this because I don't know if some folks have thought that far. There was a time where I just started up a business and everything, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be this and that, and I'm gonna be so successful, and I'm gonna be driving my car and blah blah blah, and I'm gonna buy my mom a house and all this other stuff, right? You know, I was kind of in it for the wrong reasons initially. Of course, I wanted to retire. I still had the mind frame of I want to help people, but I was young and kind of aimless a little bit. I was in school at the time and just kind of lost in the sauce. I was in a major that I wasn't happy with, and I was struggling in school. Struggle bus girl, that's me. I've struggled with so much stuff my whole life, and I'm just kind of was, you know, having trouble finding my way. And there are times that I still feel a little lost, but I'm at the point where I do feel like I know what I want to do. But I'm also a person that I want to do multiple things. So at times I feel a little overwhelmed because I'm like, well, I want to do this and that and this and that. And I want y'all to know, don't feel bad if you do want to do multiple things. I'm not the only one. I know, you know, so hey, it is what it is. Okay, let's get back to this point. So what are you going to do with the money when you make the money? I wish financial stability on everybody. I really do. I hate to see people struggling, especially like people with kids and, you know, people that are taking care of other people in their lives, or even just people that are trying to make it out here just in general. I really want to say, these are the kind of things that you want to think about. These are the kind of things that you want to ask yourself. Like, when I do start making the money that I want to make, like when I do get that job and I'm making, you know, $30,000 more a year than I was before, or I've gone from this much to this much, or whatever the case may be, even if it's just a little bump in pay. What if it's just $5 an hour, $5 more an hour? don't give into the lifestyle creep, please, guys. Lifestyle creep is basically, because I make more money, I gotta spend more money. And don't get me wrong, if there are things that you need and all of that, by all means, chip away at getting those things. But even if you're making just a boatload of money, like, maybe you might not even want to listen to me because you're like, what does this girl even know right now, right? But that's fine. If you don't want to, cool. But what I can recommend is just, what do you really want this money for? Like, what is it that you really, really want it for? Like, do you want it for the positive things? Like, do you want to help your family? Do you want to help yourself? Do you want to stay in a better situation as opposed to having it for a short period of time and then blowing it, and then you're back to struggling, or you're in a worse position than you were before? I say, please, 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 just keep in mind of the things that you're really going to do, and just learn to be responsible with your money. Invest some of it, put some of it away, do that high yield savings account, all of that cool stuff. But there's a lot that you can do, invest, like, build a business, whatever it is that you want to do. Invest in other people's dreams, invest in your dreams. But don't just go and, oh my God, I got a car, I'm gonna buy clothes and all of that. And I'm not saying don't treat yourself, but what I'm saying is to be responsible. Be responsible, and stay humble. Most of all, just stay humble, stay down, keep your higher power into perspective, and don't forget what you prayed for, and don't act like you don't need your higher power anymore, because you got where you wanted to be and then some. But I'll answer the question here and say, the reason that I want to be wealthy, the reason that I want to retire sooner than later, is because first of all, I've worked my butt off for years, for a long time, and it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge. I know a lot of people can feel me on that. And I also want to be in control of my time. I want to be in control of what I want to do, and I don't want to have to necessarily answer to a set schedule or anything like that. Like, as far as like a job is concerned, now I do set myself a schedule personally. Like, I get up and do things when I'm off or whatever. When I'm at the point that I want to be financially, I just want to be in control of my time. I want to finally have the finances and the time to pursue some of the creative endeavors that I want to work on. I'm already working on creative endeavors, but this will give me the opportunity to have even more time to do those things. I also want to, there are things that I've always wanted to do, like animal sanctuaries, or to help like single moms, and just different things like that. I've had all these different ideas over the years, and I've wanted to just teach people how to be better at whatever it is that they're doing, just better at life, better at the simple things that sometimes get us off course. That's the kind of things that I want to focus on, and I really, really, really just want to enjoy my life and not stress. And I want to show people how to do that in the process, because there's no point in gatekeeping. There's no point in keeping the information from people. Like, I want to spread that info, like I'm doing here on this YouTube video. I'll go around to people, whatever the case may be. And even if people have a good idea and I feel like they're going to be responsible, I would be willing to back that as well. And I want to set up, the little ones in my family and all of that stuff, and, build generational wealth for the family and really, really make an impact. But those are just a couple of the things that I want to do. Of course, I'll probably, get a bigger place or something like that. I'll treat myself here and there, obviously. But I just want to live better and show other people how to do that. So, and like I mentioned before, you know, I have family that I want to be there for more often, want to help them out. There was a point where I was working like every day, and I could never see my family. And I'm grateful that I've had more time to see them, but I also kind of have to work a lot, you know, in order to support myself and all of that. But yeah, so crazy stuff, but there's a lot of big dreams in my heart, and I wanna get them out there. All right, y'all. Last and final point. It's about tax season. So tax season is around the corner. Tax season is kind of technically starts at the beginning of the year. Start getting those W-2s, those 1099s, all that stuff in the mail. And then you have until about like mid-April to file usually. And not everybody's tax situation is the same. But I really hope that y'all stay on the ball with your taxes. But a couple things that I want to talk about in particular that I've had to learn. When you look at your paycheck stubs, make sure that you are calculating the federal income, dividing the federal income by the gross income, and seeing about how much that'll give you the percentage of how much is being withheld, and that gives you an idea of the kind of the taxes that you're going to pay or not going to pay. And I really hope that you get a return as opposed to having to pay. But yeah, like I said, it's a simple math. The numbers are right there for you. You can just put a line in between them, hit the calculator, get that percentage. And you want to be looking at around like 15 to 17%, if I'm not mistaken. Now, of course, I probably don't live in the same state as you do, so this could be for where I'm at. So just check. I would just double check on that. So that's what I know. And of course, if I've mentioned this in a previous video, but of course, if you're like 1099, independent contractor, you're doing work like that, gig work, set aside 30%. So and how you calculate that is like, say your check is $500 from doing that job. So you want to do in the calculator, or if you're great at mental math, or you want to do it on paper, or whatever the case may be, calculate that $500 times 0.30, and it gives you the amount of money that you should set aside. Now, it seems like a lot, but realistically, that's more than likely what the government is going to be asking back from you. So you want to make sure that you have that money set aside. You are responsible for your taxes. And like, especially if you're doing a lot of this work. And I've talked about this before, so go back and watch the other video. But anyway, tax season. And then tax season is something to keep in mind. I know I'm a little late in the game because technically like tax preparation season kind of ends in October. So you do have up until like October and things like that to fix any tax issues or whatever the case may be. And the next point that I want to talk about, which I've also had to learn the hard way, healthcare.gov. Now, unless you have you have the benefit of having like awesome health insurance through like your job, which as of right now, I don't have that benefit as of right now, especially like with independent contracting work and things like that. You were out here on your own, man. Like you totally out here on your own. And sometimes by choice, I haven't taken advantage of some of the healthcare on my jobs because it hasn't really always been that great, but there's some that has been, some of it has been good. But anyway, let's talk about if you have health insurance through healthcare.gov. So you want to make sure first and foremost that you have some kind of health insurance here in America. Of course, as we all know, a lot of our health insurance system is crap in comparison to Europe and other countries, but this is kind of the cards we were dealt. So we're here, we're making the best of it, we're doing what we got to do, right? So healthcare.gov if you have it, they're going to give you options when you pick a plan. Now it seems all awesome at first when you're like, oh, I can get a plan for $0 a month, right? Just be careful, because they're going to offer that to you. They'll be like, okay, you can either call them or you can do this online. I like to talk to people in real time, because that way you can kind of figure things out a little bit better. You can ask all the questions that you need, all of that, because I'm one of those people that I'm like, I get lost in the sauce. It takes me forever to read things, and I'm like, what am I reading? So I like to be able to communicate that. But if you can do that, great. So they'll be like, $0 a month, or there are plans that you pay up front, and or they'll be like, you can use this $700 tax credit or whatever. Just be mindful of the tax credits if you use those, because those tax credits basically mean that that's what you owe during tax season. Like when you go to file your taxes, technically, like, you're going to owe that, and you want to just be careful about that. So it's really either pay up front or pay later. So it's one or the other, and it's just something to consider, something to think about. And the more that I learn about taxes, and the more that I learn things along the way, I will be coming here into this cozy little channel, and I will be sharing that with y'all. So that is something that I wanted to talk about, a couple points today. And it's so good to have y'all back once again. I really appreciate it and love having y'all here. And I love doing this channel. I love it, and I would really appreciate it. Shameless plug, totally unrelated. If y'all follow me on TikTok and checked out my content there, because that's where I'm doing the funny bunny stuff. I'm cracking jokes and just being my silly self, and so it's not anything that's necessarily deep or anything like that. But if you're a TikToker, you like TikTok, and you're on TikTok, I would definitely appreciate a follow and maybe a little interaction too. And if I like your content, I'll totally follow you back, for sure, for sure. I'm not shysty like that. I don't think I'm too good to follow people back, and I interact with people's content as well. I really like cooking channels. I like funny channels. I like informational stuff, like how to do this and how to do that, and some true crime stuff. I'm kind of a mix. Like, if it's just a good channel, it's a good channel. Like I do like a number of things, tips and tricks and so forth. So if you have that kind of stuff, definitely feel free to follow me, for sure, and I'll follow you back. You can also find me on Instagram, same handle. That's sort of more so like my entertainment stuff, me making videos about my music, or, just sharing pictures of myself. It's a little bit more like laid back, casual, work-related things like that. So it's kind of cool. If you want to follow me there, once again, if I like your page, I'll follow your page. Not shysty like that. And you feel free to message me if you have any questions. If I don't personally know the question, I will be happy to find out the information, and we can work on learning together. Come on, man. Anyway, and then also, last but not least, obviously you have YouTube, because you're on YouTube. So if you have YouTube, if you have Spotify, if you have Apple Music, if you have Deezer, if you have pretty much any streaming platform, you can find me on there. I guarantee it, I'm on there. So it's Carlie the Pilot. It's pretty much the same handle across the board. You can find me pretty much anywhere. The YouTube is a little different, just because I'm trying to do something a little different, but maybe that's not the right route. I'm still learning over here. Give me some grace. But I would really appreciate the support, and I'm happy to support y'all back. Like I said, if I like your content, I'm totally just a supportive person, just in general. So I appreciate y'all coming to the channel and taking the time. If you have made it this far, congratulations. You are at the end of the video and you learned something, or you're helping me learn, or whatever the case may be. Feel free to contribute to the conversation in the comments. Feel free to like, to subscribe, to share this. And we're gonna make it work. We're gonna get out of this. We're gonna get out the mud. We're gonna do whatever we gotta do. And I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all. And have a wonderful day, rest of your day. And I'm wishing y'all the best. And I'll see you in the next one.